Okay, here I want to show the solar panel, which is a 6-volt solar panel hooked up to a 12-volt fan. It's 0.18 amp draw fan at 12 volts. I want to show the difference between using a Fresnel lens and just using the sun. The sun and the solar panel are lined up pretty square right now, so it's putting out about 7 volts. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the fan, hook up the power to it. Okay, now the fan's not running in the shade, but as soon as I get out of the way, the fan starts turning. But right now it's just running enough. If you see, I put the shade in front of the solar panel, it stops the fan. It doesn't have enough voltage or enough amperage. The voltage hasn't changed much, about a half a volt. But when I allow the sun into the solar panel, it will turn the fan. Voltage is not that high. It's about 7 volts. But the amperage goes up. Now I'm going to slide the Fresnel lens in front between the sun. You'll see the shade actually blocks the sun. But when I get the Fresnel lens focused, you can see how much faster that fan runs. The voltage doesn't change, but the amperage changes. And that's the difference between using a Fresnel lens to focus the sunlight on your panel. It's going to build a lot more heat, but it's also going to produce a lot more amperage. I don't have any way of testing that amperage on there right just yet, but I'm going to see if I can hook that up. Okay, now I want to show the amps that the unit is putting out. I'm not sure if you can read the meter here. Actually, you can't read the meter, but now when I allow the meter in the sun, you can. With the shade in front of the cell, the meter is reading 3.8 milliamps. When I move out of the sun, the meter is reading 44. I don't know, can you read that? It's hard for me to see it now. Well, anyway, the meter is reading 44 milliamps. Now I'm going to move the Fresnel lens in front of that and see what it reads. With the solar concentrator, I'm reading 85 milliamps, somewhere in there. 86, 87. Looks like 87 milliamps is the best I'm getting. And that's a pretty clear sun. So basically we've doubled the output from our cell by putting a solar collector or concentrator in front of it using a Fresnel lens. This is the picture of the Fresnel lens that I'm using, so you can see it. But this is a big screen TV lens. That's there's a diverter that goes in between the layers there. I took the diverter out and you just face this towards the sun, and then you can see the sunlight behind it, how it's concentrated. And actually you could probably start fires with that. That's not my purpose here. But so anyway, if you're trying to get more out of your solar panels, I've heard that you can get 4 times the power out of it by using this type of setup. I'm not sure how they're figuring 4 times, because what I'm getting is twice as much. The only drawback that I see is that the voltage actually does drop a little bit due to the excess heat on your solar cell, especially with the solar cells like this, the 3x6, that it's not encapsulated or anything like that. It's a raw cell. That thing heated up really fast and dropped below 0.5 volts. It was reading like 0.44 or something like that. Even though it was putting out more amps, the voltage itself dropped. So you'll have to, take that into account when you're making your solar array as far as your end output. So there you go, a little solar test.